Okay, right, so now we're live. Yeah, so welcome friends and family. Yeah, I was just saying to people that this is a warm up, really, like a dress rehearsal, because I'm still trying to finish off some last minute bits, and today's just going to be like a sort of overview introduction to the API, and then over the coming weeks we'll have more features I can show, because we're just finishing off the last parts, because so we really want some open source developers to jump in and help, especially with the providers, because to really show off the power of OASIS, you need more providers plugged into it. And it's just been me and Farha, my tech lead, and he's kind of part-time working on this, and it needs yeah, a lot more people to help, because this is such a big, massive project, and it's had the least amount of resources that most blockchain projects get. And at least hope from this we can start applying for grants and things. That's the plan, to all the different things we're integrating. So we've got Ethereum, EOS, Solana, Holochain, Threefold, MongoDB, Neo4j, SQLite. That's what's all integrated so far. Oh, IPFS as well. But those providers need configuring. So in the demo today, I'm just going to show it on Mongo, just so you can see the Avatar API. But I'm going to show you the engine, so you can see how it works, how the auto-replication, auto-failover, and auto-load balancing works. But we're actually going to dive into that in the next weeks, like to show you how it actually works, because it's too much to show you all. It'll take me hours and hours and hours and hours, and then you'll probably fall asleep, and I'll be asleep as well by then. So today is just an overview. And just showing the basic avatar, the top level of the avatar. And then we go deeper on the avatar next week, because that's when we go more into the engine and how it auto-replicates your avatar across the providers and auto-failover. So just a quick overview of what that is, basically. So if any, OASIS is like a network of networks. It's like an abstraction layer over everything. So basically, if one node goes down in your area, so on Ethereum, it'll jump to another node in your area. So on EOS or something, Solana. So it always find the fastest nodes. It's not dependent on the one network. So if a whole network gets taken out for some reason, the OASIS will never have any downtime. It will automatically switch to the next one, because the auto replication as well. It's a bit like a gossip protocol, similar to Holochain. And it is similar to like Holochain and blockchain in a way. I didn't design it, I didn't copy that, it's just what I was channeling. I kind of downloaded this, but how it auto-replicates, like cells in your body, how they auto-replicate, like the DNA, it reproduces itself. It does that in the back end. So where any changes you make, like on your avatar or a data object, which you call a holon, will get auto-replicated in the back end. And that's how the auto failover and load balance works. So if one node goes down, or it finds the fastest one in the area, so it's always the fastest it possibly can be, because it's not dependent on the speed of one network. So if one network's got less traffic in your area that day, it will use that network, and then another day it might be another network, or it'll use a mixture. So it doesn't see like all the nodes. It's like a node of every single network combined in like a big web, if you can imagine that. So it's not just fixed to one thing. So it's like a higher layer. That's why it's called Web 4, because it's a layer above Web 3 and integrates Web 2 and 3 together. It's a true Web 4, and Web 5 is what comes after that, and that's the what we'll do demo later on. That's the Star Omniverse, which is what thing that integrates all the metaverses together. So have you seen a diagram of the torus? It's like a torus basically. So the Web 4 kind of integrates all the data, aggregates all the world's data through one central API, the OASIS API, and then it funnels that into Web 5, which is the Star Omniverse, and represents that data in like a cyberspace ontology, like planets, stars, moons, galaxies, universes, multiverses, superverses. I channeled all this, so it's way more what NASA led you to believe. It's way beyond multiverse and metaverse. It's way beyond that. It's like it's galactic information I channeled for that. And basically, it's the Earth node of the galactic network. So basically, OASIS API job is to bring all the world's data together, so we can sense make it, aggregate it, and make sense of it, moving all the silos, and then we connect that That's Web 4, and then we connect that through Web 5 into the rest of the cosmos, into the rest of the galactic networks. So then we connect to other systems out there. And I'm sorry if you think we're alone, then you've really got to catch up, because we're not alone in the universe, and there's many races who want to talk to us. So I'm just coming out and saying it. I'm not hiding anymore. This time the world knows the truth. So this is the mission: is to prepare the Earth for contact, and this is to bring all the data together to make a better world. And then we're going to connect that data interface with other races and galaxies. So that's the big whole mission. That's what Web 5 is. What comes after. So I guess I'll jump in then and start showing it. Hope that makes sense, and more people joining. And bear in mind, I'm kind of a bit autistic, and I haven't done any talking, and I haven't had any sleep. So I was up to 1 in the morning with a power cut last night, just trying to get ready for this demo. So I guess I'll share my screen. Share screen. I think it's okay. Can you see that? Can you see my screen? I hope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so basically the first thing I'll just show quickly is let's see. Yeah, so can you see that web page? So Swagger basically at the top there. So basically I just released this morning version 2.2.2. So it kind of seems quite a good omen. I didn't plan it to be like this, but it just happened to be the version I got to, and it's a master builder year 2.2.2, and I'm demoing 2.2.2 on Solstice. So that's quite a good sign. I think I'm on the right track. Sometimes I always feel I'm late and behind schedule, but people say I'm actually ahead of schedule, but this feels it's taking so long. But I guess this is a big project, so it's going to take a while. So like I said, this is the providers it already implements. So you got, these examples, just what I've done is like, if you in IT, you'll know there's 3 main types of databases, like a relational database. There's an example of a relational database, SQLite, and there's a document object NoSQL database, and Mongo is one of the most popular ones, very fast database, storing data. And then you've got a graph database example, and Neo4j is one of the top graph databases. So that's why I have them there. Holochain, we have support for that, but that's been an ongoing challenge for me, because that was supported 2 years ago, and then they changed, I think, with a new version called RSM. If you're into Holochain, you know about that. And then they broke it because they changed the way it uses WebSockets to communicate, and they changed it to use this message pack like encoding, encryption, and that kind of broke my my provider. And they've been trying to help me troubleshoot that for like last 1.5 years. And we're nearly there, but it's just like one thing after another. So hopefully that will be working very soon too. That's another thing I wanted it working before today. But I think it's better just to show something today rather than just waiting forever. Solana, you probably know, everyone knows Solana, Ethereum, EOS, the three top popular blockchains. There's Telos, which is built on top of EOS, and then Seeds is built on top of Telos. So these 3 are kind of together. But if you heard of Seeds, basically it's like a new kind of currency, regeneration currency. That was added like 1.5 years ago. And Seeds, I think Mohan or no, just joined. They don't even have a REST API yet. Their integrations are limited just to smart contracts for EOS and for WordPress. And I kept trying to tell to them, like, you need a REST API. What this is a REST API, if you IT, you know, is the most compatible thing out there, because it can be plugged into everything: games, apps, websites, services. It's just anything with an internet connection. It's a HTTP connection. Can use a REST service, and that's what this OASIS API is. The first version is. Then we're going to have a GraphQL and open gRPC version as well coming up next few months, hopefully. So this really gives them that integration, and then IPFS as well. So yeah, so these are all built and just the configuring. So I'm going to be demoing how the auto failover and auto load balance and auto replication works with these in the next coming weeks. I think one of the sessions on the schedule I had was the provider API. That's when I'm going to be talking more about this. So just giving a quick overview today because it will take hours and hours to go through it all. And we're going to build up from there. And basically, the demo we use a thing called Postman, and that's a way of like making calls to the API, which I'll show you in a minute. And we've got like a dev staging and live environment. Making download this JSON file, which is then give you the API, which is this. It'll give you this. So you have avatar, and we're going to demo this soon. This is a new thing, keys, which is part of the new wallet API, key API. Another thing that my team been waiting for months. So here it is. First time I showed it to anyone. We're going through this in more detail later on, but it's where you can basically link any wallet on any blockchain to your avatar. So you single sign on the avatar. Instead of having all these logins and wallets, you have one OASIS wallet that aggregates all your wallets together. And then this is how you link your wallets to it. So, and you can also generate new wallets for it as well, for any provider. So you can link an existing wallet, or you can create a new wallet. And you have multiple wallets per provider, per avatar. That's basically how it works. And it can also replicates your private keys, local storage providers. You have multiple local storage providers and multiple devices, so you never lose your keys again. So like it auto backs up, a bit like a cloud, but like an offline cloud. So you can use like Bluetooth or LAN or wireless, and it will just auto replicate your keys, private keys, only your private keys on your local storage devices, on your phone, laptop, whatever, PC. Because people keep losing their keys, so this is a way it kind of solves that problem. But and then the rest of the wallets is obviously backed up on the public providers, like you just saw the list. So that's just, we're going more detail on this later on, but that's just an overview of, there's so many, like, I think world first. I think I've been doing this for years. I kind of had all these channels so long ago, but it's taken a long time to build it. But I keep thinking I'm running behind schedule and people catching up, but I think I'm still kind of pretty ahead. But, and then the Karma is the Karma API plugs in, is part of the avatar, so you get Karma for good deeds, like picking up litter in nature or anywhere in the world, cleaning up beaches, planting trees in rainforests, volunteering for charity, donating money to a good cause or charity, helping people, helping people on social media, maybe eating healthy, like going to a meditation yoga class, anything that's doing good for you or the world. You earn karma, and then your avatar levels up. That's like your XP in the game, because our world and the Oasis is the game of life. It's a simulation of all it is, and our world is the first planet, basically, of the Oasis Omniverse. And that's how the avatar thing. The avatar is a key part. The avatar is your currency, and avatar can, and the karma can be redeemed for like real world goods and services, like a free smoothie or a yoga class or even a yoga retreat, say, just an example. And that's why we're partnering with Tulum Coin and people in Tulum here who are like helping to ground it. They're doing similar things. It's about, we need to do an example somewhere. So we're kind of starting in Mexico, and then that's how you can redeem the karma. You can earn karma for doing real things in where we are, and then we redeem it. So basically I built an engine. It's an engine in the game, and what it needs is people to build like use cases and build on it, build UIs, build the toolkits, and then partner and integrate bits. And now we're ready for that. That's why I'm doing this demo, I think, to really start to get more partners and people out there using it and integrating. And the data is just basically holons. Holons is like a data object. It's basically something that can be part of a whole and part on its own as well. Basically your cells and your body is like organs, and cells make up organs, and organs make up your body. They're like examples of holons. Everything's fractal, the holons inside holons. I think Brett's on this call here, know what holons are, and Chris and other people who I work with like use holons. And holons is like the universal data packet. This is how we talk to the galactics, by the way, the fractal holonic technology. That's kind of the base kind of data model that all galactics use. And then providers, I've just been talking about the providers. This is just an API to do register providers and you can get hold of what storage, network, or renderer providers. This is what comes later on. Mostly, I built all the back end to the Omniverse. You've seen Ready Player One. This is the OASIS back end, basically, to that. And most of it is built now, which is why I'm doing a demo. But we need to build a UI. That's why we're doing this demo, because we need funding, because to build a UI is massive amounts of funding. And we're building the IRL geolocation AR game for a few years, but we had very, very little funding. So that's about halfway complete. And then we need the One World MMO RPG game, and that's going to be an Unreal 5 engine. And that's the real deal. That's the thing you see in the OASIS. That's the first UI of the real OASIS. And that's the first part of the OASIS Omniverse. And you have build other planets and things. But first of all, we've got to sort out our own planet. We can't go to other planets until we've worked out our own challenges here, and we get along with ourselves before we try and get along with other races. And then you can get hold of the providers that are auto-replicating, and which ones have auto-failover, etc., etc. I'm going to go into more details. I'm just glossing over this, but you can get an idea, and you can look at this offline, or online, you know, on after the call, and then you can activate different providers and basically do anything. This is what I built at OASIS. It's very generic, and it's very powerful, and it can basically, you can make it do anything you want to. It's a generic engine that you can do anything you want with it. That's what the design of it was, and this is why it's taken so long to build, because it's not one simple little segment or use case people have or target audience. Its scope is so massive, it's like infinite. It's basically to do everything and anything and connect everything to everything and be used to do anything. So you can imagine trying to build that. It's like, how do you build something like that? Well, this is why people keep saying what I'm building is that most people don't even bother trying to do, because it's so ridiculous. And I kind of understand now why they don't take it on, because it's been quite a journey to get this far. But it's what I came here to do. So here's the engine, and it can do anything. And I'll show you more of that later. And then you can search, you can search the races, maps, it's part of the geolocation stuff, the seeds APIs. So you pay with seeds and rewarded with seeds, donate with seeds, and it's linked to your avatar. So the seeds and the avatar and karma are all linked together. So when you use seeds, you get karma as well. So if people are into seeds, you understand more about that. This needs updating, because this is to the old seeds, but I know they changed it. They kind of, as like holochain, everything's moving the goalposts. I integrate stuff, get it working, and then they all change and upgrade, and I have to break my stuff and I have to fix it all. But this is why I need more resources, because it's as you see, there's a lot to do. A lot's been done, but there's still so much more to do. And these are just some examples of some of the different providers. And if we go on here, this is Swagger as well. This is auto-generated from the documentation. So I'm going to start going through this now. This is the avatar API I want to show you today. Just how you create an avatar, how you log in and authenticate. And you can here you can see examples like every single thing you can do to update an avatar detail. Basically, you have an avatar and you have avatar detail, and the avatar detail holds more details. The avatar is just a basic lightweight authentication object. You know, just your username, password, your login token. This thing called JWT token if you're into techie. And when you log in, you get your JWT token, which is a JSON web token. And then you pass that token around in the header of future API calls, and that's how you get authenticated. That's just a standard security thing, like a Web 2 kind of thing. Yeah, so basically I'll show you how that works in a second. But every call, you can optionally tag on provider type, because by default the OASIS handles the providers for you, and it automatically will load balance across the providers, like I said earlier on. But if you want to manually just talk to one provider for that call, you can pass in the provider type there, and that'll be one of these you pass in, and there'll be future ones as well. And then set globally is basically, do you want to just do this, override it just for this one call, or do you want to do it for all future calls? Every future API call we make will then use that provider only. So it's just like a way of overriding it. And the stuff I've been working on the last few days makes it even more advanced. So that's what I'm going to talk about probably next week, because it's a lot to take in one go. Right. So more people still joining. It's good. I'm always late for everything too, but it's recorded so people can catch up. Yeah. So just talk through this. Basically, yeah, an avatar detail has more details in the avatar, and that's like the gamified part. You know, your karma, your human design, your gene keys, your chakra, your auras, your mana, your health, your stamina. You know, standard RPG stuff. Your strength, dexterity. I'll show you what that looks like later on. The avatar detail, but there's loads in there. I think I list it somewhere. I'll just check in a minute. And then you got standard stuff like delete. And every single call you can do by username, email, or your ID, just so you know. So you have your username, which is defaults to your email address, but you can change it later on to anything you want. And get UMA JSON. That's just getting the 3D object, your 3D avatar. We're using a thing called UMA avatar in Unity. People in Unity will know what that is. And you logged in avatar. Register, verify email. It's when you sign up, you register your email address. Oh yeah, this is a preview of is what I can talk about later on. So basically, I've implemented a preview just on authenticate. So originally you can override a provider, and I said set globally, but now the new enhancements I'm making in the last few days, you can override whether it auto-replicates or has auto-failover and auto-load balance enabled, and you can pass in your own custom list of providers to do it over. So that's really powerful, because then you can like customize like per avatar, per API call. You can customize exactly how the OASIS will work. So that engine, that powerful engine, you can completely fine tune it and tweak it to each use case. So then you can say like, oh wait, maybe for authenticate, I want to just only do it over like Holochain and Mongo. But when I update my avatar detail, I want that to do that over Ethereum, EOS, Solana. You know, that's a kind of example kind of thing. You can choose what providers you want per action you're taking, per API call. Because at the minute it's a global thing per O node, OASIS node, and this is the first O node.
The screen's not changing for us. We're still on EOSIO.
Oh, is it not scrolling? Is it on Swagger? Like it should be API avatar authenticate. It's probably
we have
probably really slow connection here. Wouldn't surprise me. So are you what can you see on your screen? Is it like avatar authenticate?
I see Solana, EOS.
Postman, we see Postman running.
Oh, Postman.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. So yeah. So it's looking at the wrong screen. I thought it's showing my whole screen. Hang on a second. So, oops. Yeah, let's change this. So you can see that now. Oops. Thought you could see what I see. So now you can see this screen, the web page, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's annoying. I was talking through this way, but basically this is what I was talking about. But you can go on to API oasisplatform.world and it automatically go to this page. And yeah, this is what I was just talking through the different providers. And oh yeah, I won't go through it all again, but hopefully you can work out what I was saying from the audio. The 3 different databases, relational graph, document, Holochain, Solana, Ethereum, EOS, Telos, Seeds, IPFS. That's annoying. And then the JWT token, this is what I was highlighting when I was talking earlier on. And then I was scrolling down, showing you the avatar API. Okay, and then I was saying like per API call, you can then override the provider type. So here you just like update the avatar detail per username. But here you're saying, I want to override that with this provider type, and you pass in that provider type, one of these types. So Holo OS, say, and then you say, is that set globally? Is it, you say false if it's just for this one call, or true for all future calls? Or now we'll now be using the provider you passed in here. That's what I was just saying. And then, yeah, I was explaining about the UMA, the 3D model, logged in avatar, register, authenticate your email, you know, when you standard kind of thing, when you sign up for something. And this is what I was just saying, the advanced ones, what I was just trying to crowbar in the last few days, but I haven't quite finished yet. So I've got kind of half working, so I'm going to demo this next time. And this is where you can say, is it going to auto-replicate? Is it going to auto-failover? Is it going to load balance? And what providers do you want me to use? And you can pass in this default, and then a word default, like a string, and it will just use the defaults. Or you can say what you want to, you know, you can basically, so you can actually see how powerful the engine is. You can customize it. This is one of my gifts. I like giving people, make things very generic and adaptable and able to plug anything in. And for developers, though, I appreciate this, because it's basically, mostly I hate when you kind of get tools and they're very closed box, a black box, and you can't really tweak or customize it. And you kind of have to do it my way or the highway, and you're forced to use a rigid API that doesn't really let you have any flexibility or power behind it. But I've tried to design the OASIS so you can do anything you can imagine, and it's up to developers and people to use imagination. It's a bit like Holochain in a way. It's similar to Holochain ethos, that you can build whatever you want on top of it, and you can bend the engine to do anything you want. Especially with this upgrade, you can now do it per call, per avatar, and this is saved to your avatar as well. So every avatar, so basically every account can tweak their own settings. So you're basically having full control of the data, the full control data on exactly what actions does it get replicated, and where, and what behavior do you want it to work on, how do you want the load balancing to work, how do you want auto failover to work. So I hope you can get an idea of how powerful this can be. But to really see it, you need people to start building the apps on top of it. That's why I'm doing this demo, so get developers to start jumping on, and then they can yeah, and then they can start to use this. People still joining.
So it's functional, David? Can we create an avatar and an account, or not yet?
Yeah, you can do it for the API. This is thing, and you can. We have got a web UI as well. They're just finishing because of the resources. It's I hadn't better hire very experienced developers, so it's been very painful.
Because I tried like 2 days ago, and I understand. I tried like 2 days ago and it wasn't working. So I wonder if something changed within the 2 days. Now it's functional, right? We can go and create accounts, avatar, and
on the web UI soon. That's why I said I wasn't ready to demo today, really, but I kind of forcing myself to showing something, because the web UI kind of, they told me they fixed it, but I have to verify whether they fixed it. So basically that's what I'm showing later on. The web UI, that's not part of today. Today's just the back end, just showing the back end, and the web UI is going to be in a few weeks' time. It'll be ready by then. But it'll probably be ready before then. It'll probably be ready in a few days, but I'm going to demo it. And if it's ready in a few days, I'll send the link around. People can start doing that, and then I'll demo it in a few months, and in a few weeks. But for now, you can use, if you have Postman, you can create avatars for this. Oh wait, I'll go back to that in a second. I'll show you that bit in a second.
David, quick question: can I add a developer to the group or not?
To this group?
Yeah. Am I allowed to?
Yeah, but now?
Yeah.
Oh, to this thing. Yeah.
Cool. Because I
People
want him to in on the next meeting, because he's kind of up to speed on my project, and this would be really useful for him.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess you're also going to do questions. Again, I can take a few questions down, and then I'll do a bit more, because I want to, yeah. Yeah. So
it's a good idea that people start to join, David, if you want people to plug in, because the more traction you've got. So anyway, I'll leave you without questions. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. So how do you pronounce it? Abada? Do you want to say something? Her question?
Yes, David. Firstly, great work to the team for bringing all this together. And what I would like to understand, just looking at the backend and the one of the specific modules that you had shared about seeds had really really like inspired me to an extent, seeing possible connections with projects that are already in flight, creating NFTs and other things. So what I was trying to wonder, what I'm trying to arrive to at, how can someone like there in that world, Seeds NFT world, use Avatar and the current Seeds module that you have? How do they plug and play? If you can just explain to me in layman terms, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I said this is what I'm going to show you. One of the modules I'm going to show you actually seeds, because on the schedule I didn't add seeds to it. I'm going to add seeds at the end, so then I'll go through. But basically, that Postman I was showing earlier on, and this API, they can just plug into this API, and then at the end you have /seeds, and then seeds is yeah, down here somewhere. So basically you can log in with your seeds, your avatar, you can link your seeds account to your avatar, and then when you pay with seeds and you reward the seeds, you can use either your Telos account, which is your seeds account, or you can use your avatar. So they're interchangeable. Because your Telos account is linked to your avatar, you can use either. So it looks it up, it converts between them, and then you get Karma and seeds. And then I've linked Karma and seeds, and I've linked seeds account and avatar account together. So that's kind of an example of where we're going to OASIS. It's all about integration and merging everything together. And then this is then how Seeds can talk to Holochain, for example. It can talk to Solana, it can talk to anything. It's just been such a crazy amount of work to get this far, and there's still loads of crazy amount of work to do, because this is just the beginning. This is what I call the storage network layer. This is the engine, and now we start building what I call the magic layer, and that's the use case engine. So that's the keys and wallets is the first, and seeds are the first example of things built on top of it. And then there's going to be lots more, and then Star Omniverse is another layer. That's like Magic Plus layer. And but these other ones, they can start doing things. This is why I need developers to come and help, because there's a lot, you can do a lot already, but I haven't got the time to build all this stuff. I'm going back to Star Web 5 very soon. The angels keep telling me to get on with that, because the Omniverse is needed now. I need to take it down on Facebook before they go create a broad timeline. So it's quite important that I start coding the Omniverse like now. And that's why I'm handing this over to Farha and other developers who want to jump in, and Mike, and anyone wants to help, because I'm now stopping development of Web 4 because I've done my bit on it. This is as far as I'm going with it, and now I've got to go on to Web 5 because that needs to be done. So this is why I've done all this, and the code is very high quality now as well. It's evolved over the years, because you remember I demoed this 2 years ago. The first alpha, this is all here 2 years ago. Seeds was done as well 1.5 years ago, but unfortunately people didn't really understand what I was talking about. But maybe now it's time, and then I can. But this code is in a very good state, so I made it so it's open source and other developers can jump in now. Because now I think about it, 1.5 years ago, people could help, but it wasn't as mature. Now the code's much more stable and mature, so it's easy to like the standards better basically, so people can look at what I've done and they can duplicate it. So I think it's time for other developers to jump in now, because I think like 1.5 years ago it wasn't quite ready, but now it is. So that's what I'm going to do, the tech deep dive, in a few weeks. So I'll start going through the code, and you see what I mean. There's a lot of code. There's about 200,000 lines of code behind all this. It's a lot, and going through this swagger doesn't really do it justice. But I'm trying to share what I can now to start getting people interested.
Dave, just a quick follow-up. This is definitely very interesting, and I don't want to step in your demo because you want to go through all the details that are there. Just a follow-up question I want to quickly ask is that when we speak of avatar, and for an end user, real world end user to interact with them, they would have to start thinking of some kind of a UI also, right? They would have to start thinking of the UI, though they can use the OSS engine to connect the endpoints with seeds and other things that they're doing, but they'll have to start thinking and envisioning their UI that they wish to create to start really giving them the experience of interacting with this engine and whatever that is.
Yeah, basically, because that's what we're building. Like we've got a React developer team that are building generic like Web UI components as examples. but they're an example, so people can build whatever they want. It's just like HoloChain, you know, it's like an engine, but you can even build your own providers in different languages and stacks. You can plug in Java or Python or Go or React, Angular, Vue, because it's a very generic flexible engine, so it can work with anything. And it can even extend it as well. This is why I'm going to go for the tech deep dive. This is why I want the open source developer community to really get on board with this, because it's about time it starts getting attention and love it needs. Because I need to step away and build Web 5 now. So it's like I've done my bit. And this is the handover. I'm handing over Web 4 to the community now. This is what I'm doing. This is like my handover. I'm handing it to Farha, my tech lead, but he can't do it on his own. We need people to come and build this. And then I can go and get Web 5 ready for people to come on board, but Web 5 isn't ready yet. I need to get that to prototype level, and this is way beyond prototype level. This was an alpha 2 years ago, and now this is the production version, and it's now pretty mature, and that's why now this is kind of like a handover. And as you can see, I'm scrolling up here, these are different types in the system, and you can see how extensive it is. It's like a spiritual RPG. Blockchain, holochain, seeds, like mesh of everything, because it's everything integrated. You can see there's examples of things you saw at multiverses and omniverses, stars, moons, planets, wallets, karma, standard kind of like normal Web 2, Web 3 kind of things you recognize, and then there's OLANs, NFTs. But there's a lot of stuff in here. Like I haven't actually scrolled down this list for a long time, but this is just giving the preview. These are basically the interfaces inside the OASIS. So like a lot of this stuff doesn't do justice, but when you start to look for this, you start to get an idea of what's under the hood. And there's a lot of stuff underneath. Oh God, it's a long list. I won't go through all this now. But I wanted to just do a quick demo of the actual avatar. So I'll actually show it working. That might be good because I've talked quite a bit now. But yeah, that's this. People can have a look later on at this stuff. But this is like the NFT wallet stuff we're working on now. And what I was going to show was on the avatar detail. You can get an idea of the kind of things that's in the actual avatar as well. Yeah, here I kind of list them all, so you can see standard kind of database karma and XP level, and it said you've got a 2D portrait of that's for websites. So on a website, your 2D portrait will appear, but on the game, your 3D model will appear. That's kind of like how I'm saying your avatar can be on anything. So it's like a 2D and 3D representation of your avatar. This is for like Mohan, like heart rate data. It's building biofeedback hardware. So we've got like the heart rate data, and it'll probably be a lot more we're going to add. Chakras, aura, and then gifts, stats. There's tons of stuff inside these things, by the way.
David, which page are you showing again?
Oh,
we're looking at the avatar detail. Is that where we are?
Yeah. Can you see that? Yeah, the
small writing. Oh, that's so cool.
I can see this bit here. It's highlighted. Hopefully, still HP, mana, energy, and stamina should be in the stats, and then that gene keys, human design, skills, attributes. Standard like RPG stuff you get in games, but it's like a spiritual RPG in a way. That's what it is. And then you level up your superpowers and spells, achievements. You unlock different achievements. You have your inventory, and then you get access to Omniverse from inside your avatar, just like real life gets disclosure. So the Omniverse Web 5 is actually an object inside the avatar object. So when you get the avatar detail, you can then go not only for all this stuff, you can go into the Omniverse through your avatar because it's inside you, because the universe is inside you. You can access everything from within yourself. This is why I say it's like disclosure as well. There's so many levels to this. It'll take me a long time to go through every bit. I'm just trying to give you a little taste of kind of what I've been working on the last few years. It's been quite intense, but this is all ready. So the back end's ready for the game. Like all the back end of the game is built. The avatar stuff. There's so much stuff that's invisible that people don't see yet. But when people start building on it, you'll start to see. I'm just going to like switch to Postman, and then you can just quickly show you it working, hopefully. So now, can you see Postman now? It's like a black screen, I hope.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm just going to delete my old avatar, just so I can create a new one. Hide that. And then it was quite nerve-wracking last night because there was a power cut and about 8:30, and I was working on these new features, and I was going to stop and then make sure this is all working, and then I had a power cut until like from 8:30 to 11:30. And normally I go to bed at 9, 10 o'clock, so I had to stay up to 11:30, and then I was going to go to bed. I thought, no, I have to check live, and I found those issues. So then I had to stay up to like 1 o'clock, just like frantically fixing some stuff. And then today I deployed 2.2.2. So as always as IT, it's all like nice last minute fun adrenaline rush. So then here we're going to register an avatar. So then we're on live. So you can see I've got like dev, live, and staging environments. And that's what goes into the host there, that's basically the HTTP. Yeah, you can see the API OASIS platform.world. Staging is basically staging.api at the front, and then dev is dev, which don't need to worry about that. And when you create standard kind of things, when you create, username and name and email, password, and you got avatar type as a wizard or standard user. Normally that's just this user, but wizards are basically admins. So I'm just an admin. Because admins can do anything on the API, but users going to do so much. So let's see. Hopefully this is working. Because the problem is the server right now is hosted in UK. So sometimes I've had some connection issues from Mexico. But we're about to deploy this to threefold. Oh, it's working. Thank God. Sometimes it timed out earlier on, but that's because I just deployed it, I think. But yeah, within a few weeks, we're going to deploy the threefold. So then you can see it running across the grid, and then that should help with, be truly centralized then, and then it will help with connectivity issues. Right now, it's just one little server in UK, which is just a bootstrapping, an example just to get something out there. But it now needs to be, now it's ready to be deployed properly. So here we created a avatar, and then every result gets back this OASIS result. I won't go too much into this, but this is it's a lot more verbose. There's nothing but OASIS. It's very fault tolerant and very it feedbacks a lot of information to you. Because one of my bugbears as a developer is when things go wrong and doesn't tell you. I don't know if you've ever seen that, like Windows, you go, an error has occurred, and you're like, no shit, an error has occurred. You want to like give me a clue what it is, and they don't help you. Like, what the fuck is the problem? So developers probably understand that pain that I have, and I've been years of this. I'm just frustrated with developers not telling you what the hell is the problem. So I'm very detailed with my error messages, and I like to give back as much information as possible. So that's where this has come from. And another good thing is you don't. I won't go too much into it, but you're not supposed to throw exceptions in .NET. You're meant to like pass around your own. I built my own error handling mechanism. So every method returns this and tells you like, did it load, did it save, how many errors, how many warnings, a message, a detail message. I won't bore you. It's more a technical thing. But saying this, we created it, and now we can verify our email. And here's my wallet. Here's my avatar. It's got empty wallets right now. Avatar ID, just standard stuff. My wizard, and then we're from beamed in is whether you logged in or not. It's beamed in, and is it verified? And this is the new stuff I said I crowbarred in last night. This is the new stuff. It tells you what version we're running, what state is the engine on, what load balance replication or failover on, what provider is it currently on, and this is standard HTTP stuff. If people in tech will know that's just a standard thing, best practice to return that. Okay, so then we've got an email. So then I'll go to, you probably can't see my emails, can you? I'll probably have to change it again. Yeah, it's crazy. People still joining. People must have got the time wrong. Can you see my email? I'm not sure you can see my email. I'll just share it just in case. Hope you can see my email now. So this is what you get when you sign up, and then you get a link, and this link will work, and it used to work, but they're kind of fixing things. This will take you to the live site. I don't want to show you that, the HTML actual UI to it, and then it'll verify your avatar with the token. But for now, I'm just going to do it manually so I can show you how it works for developers. So let's go back to my other screen. So screen. Yeah. Oh, there's quite a lot of people here now. I'm glad I don't see how many people were here. It makes me more nervous. And then you go to verify email, and then that's a token. So basically, this is all done for the UI. So you click the link, you saw the email, and then it will pass this token in, and then you verify your avatar. But this is for more for a developer stuff. So developers can like, this is how I say developers can use this to do anything. They can build your own UI. So this is how you would, standard authentication stuff. And now it's saying we verify, so we can log in. And then we go to authenticate. And yeah, so I purposely got my password wrong here. So oh, this is that's one of the new settings, by the way, show detail settings. So that basically is what turns this on. So now it shows you what providers it's running across. So that's what's load balancing and failover and replicating across. A local firewall is this is a new one I wrote recently, and that's just for the storing your private keys to your local storage. That'd be only on your device. So that only your private keys go there, and your public keys and wallets go onto the other ones, like I was explained earlier on. SQLite is also a local one, and Holochain can be too. Holochain can be local. So yeah, here we logged in. It says avatar successfully authenticated, and then same as before. And this is the JWT token I said about. So that's the token you pass in the header of all future calls. So then we want to copy that, and then you just got refresh token. Now it's verified, and this day we beamed in, and this is when you last beamed in, which is the same as logged in. Because your avatar, you're beaming in. You're not. Everything's done in like an avatar kind of way. And then if I want to say forgot my password, so if I try to do this now, it should say, yeah, this is what happens if you don't pass in the token. It will say it's invalid, authorization failed. So I made all use messages very verbose and user friendly, so you can kind of understand what it's talking about. Okay, so that's weird. So do something. I didn't know people could do that. Yeah. How do I turn it off anyway? So I don't know how so because people can draw on my screen, but I don't know. Let's put it in settings somewhere.
So who is Zoom? Who's joined as Zoom?
Oh, Zoom. I think that's Bradley, is it? I think.
Yeah, sorry. Hi.
Yeah. So I just suddenly someone was drawing across the screen.
There is one more Zoom.
Wasn't me, sorry.
No, there is one more Zoom.
Oh, someone else. I have to work out how to turn it off in a minute. Do you remember the last time I did this? I had someone trolled me again that time. Always the way. Oh yeah, so here we set the. So here I set in the header, authorization header, and there's a thing called a bearer token. This is just for technical people, and that's the token that we had when we got authenticated, and then now it sent me an email saying, "Can you like reset your password?" And this is all kind of standard stuff. It's like nothing really exciting, just standard authentication. And then you get the reset password, and then you click that link, and it will take you to the website and reset your password. Instead, we just take this token. This is just more or less to kind of show you it's working. Because Mohan, I know that the emails when it first went live with the alpha, it didn't work because it only worked with Hotmail. That was really weird. But now we fixed that. This is what came out of last year when we started building with the developers. We started building on the API, and then that's when it's really started to find more issues. And this one now going, that was kind of like a closed alpha, but this is more like an open alpha now, or open beta. It's kind of production, but it's really, people need to start really testing it and building it, and then yeah, we can fine tune any more stuff. So yeah, and then that's the token we put in here, and we save a new password, and then we put it, say, yeah, so we've got to put the right token in here. Just this one. So that's a JWT token. The future demos will get more exciting because this is just, I have to go through to show you the avatar API. This is just how you log in basically, and you know, forget your password and reset your password. It's not really, but what's powerful about the OASIS, what I'm showing you is the auto-replication stuff and auto failover, that which I already talked about. So hopefully you can get an idea of it. And the refresh token. This is just how you, that's just a standard Web 2 thing as well. When you're logged in, you know, sometimes it logs you out after, because it timed out after 10 minutes, I think. And here you can just refresh your token, basically. And then evoke your token again. That's how you log out. So you evoke that token and it will then be logged out. I won't go through every single bit. Actually, I realize because it's be quite boring. I'm just going to show you some bits. But it's all working. This is what I was testing to 1 in the morning last night. So yeah, if I try to get an avatar, and this is the kind of thing like here, if I I showed the error handling. So now it's taken a while just because this avatar doesn't exist anymore. I deleted it. This is the old avatar, and this is by ID, but we can get it by username and email as well. So that's probably more common, more user-friendly, but you can use the ID. This is what I said about the server. We need to get it hosted, because that's what that's doing. It's going for all those providers. It's got the auto failover is kicking in. You can't find it on Mongo, so it's going to Ethereum, EOS, Solana. It's going to all of the blockchains and all the databases trying to find his avatar. And this is why I said you can configure it. So if you don't want it to auto failover or want to return quicker, then you tell it don't fail over these ones. So that it's saying that, yeah, it tried to find that. It's looked through all these providers. So this is why it took a bit longer. And then it goes in a detail error message of why, and it's saying like avatar not found on Mongo, on the Mongo provider. And then it's saying on SQL, it had an invalid exception error. This is what Farhas has fixed. This is fixing the SQLite provider. So I'm going to demo the providers this in next week, and then that's just a big dump of error messages. But then you can see it goes into the other providers as well. So you've got what's that, Nero? So you can see Nero, IPFS, Holochain, SQLite, Threefold, Ethereum, and these are the errors returned back from each provider. So what I'm going to do for the next demo, I'm going to get these providers configured, because the providers are finished. I just need to be configuring and setting up, and I need to merge in some latest fixes that Farhas done, and smart contracts is deployed, and then you see it actually running across these things. But I left this in purpose because I wanted to show you the error handling, how verbose it is. This is what I was talking about. So you don't just get, oh, an error's occurred. Like you, as a developer, you know exactly what's happened, and you can see his stack of everything, and it's even more detailed logging in the back end. So I did this make it developer friendly. For users, it's like this is like a mess, but to a developer, this is like, oh my god, thank God, I can actually see what's going on under the hood. I'm just talking from the developer's perspective. But then so this is a little example. Now we grab the real avatar ID. So this is my actual real avatar ID, and then it'll work.
So how is the avatar IDs linked with the wallets?
Oh yeah, I think I showed it briefly before. Oh, yeah, see, loaded now before you joined. But basically, that's going to be a future session. But basically, just a quick overview is in keys. You can link any public key to avatar to your avatar, and you can link any private key, and it's done separately, so you don't ever send the private public key in the same request. In this case, is packet sniffers and things. So basically, you have your avatar ID, or you can have a username or email, whichever one you want to use, and then the public key will go here. And then what providers, that'd be Ethereum, Solana, EOS, whatever provider you want to link it to. And when you first do it, you don't if you don't pass in the wallet ID, it'll create a new wallet, and then it return a wallet ID. You get a wallet. You return a wallet ID back here, and then when you link the private key, you then pass in that wallet ID here. So then you have your wallet ID, and then you link that private key. Basically, that's how it works. And there's more stuff coming on as well later on, and you can generate a whole key pair and link it to your wallet. So then you don't even have to worry about keys. You can create your own ones. Yes, that's why this one.
Can you show how to create an Ethereum wallet using the generate key pair endpoint probably, or any provider's wallet? That would be very useful for me.
I could maybe quickly, because it's supposed to be a future session, but I guess I'll just do like 2 minutes, I guess, and go more detail later on. But I didn't test this recently, so I hope it's still working. I was only testing the avatar, so let's see if it actually works on this. Yeah, so if I wanted to do, yeah, so let's say I did this, and then hang on, yeah, so. And bear in mind, like I said, you can use every method in the OASIS. You can use, like I said, your ID, username, email. You can see every single method has 3 versions of it. So right now I'm using the ID one, but
that's amazing.
But username, you can, so yeah, you can put username, and then email will be email. So you kind of get the idea, I think. Hopefully, so make everything flexible as I can. So let's see if this works. And then so then that'll be what for Ethereum would be Ethereum. That's spell it. Is it spelled right? If then that'd be your public key, whatever it is, blah blah blah, and then let's see if it works. Oh yeah, got to log in first. So token. What one was it? This one. And then let's see. Wait, yeah. Yeah. See, this is it's trying to save to local storage. And because I never tested on the server, so this is how you see the error handling. It's trying to local file OASIS. It's trying to save to the local storage, and it hasn't got access to that file on the server. It's denied.
Where is it hosted currently? Where's the server?
So this is gone on a server in UK. It's like a Windows server in UK at the minute. So, but what I'm going to do, what's going to be? Actually, maybe I think it. Hang on a minute. It might have saved it to Mongo, because this is in the public key, because I've got the auto-replication on. So this is why it's auto-replications on if you're trying to replicate to local file as well. But if I turn that off, then it will probably work, because it's trying to replicate it to local file storage, and then it can't write to that thing. This is why in the future, next demo, I'll show this properly, because I haven't prepared for this bit. As you can see, I haven't tested this live yet. This works locally. I just got to yeah, good. And you can see yeah, see on these ones, it's going it's saying it has to be storage local. So you can see the security and error handling.
Yes.
This is a good demo, so you can see that it doesn't allow you to store private keys on anything that hasn't. I had to create a new thing called storage local and private storage local network.
That's really cool.
Because you guys, yeah, I built it all and it was all done, and you went, oh, we can't store your private keys in database. Oh crap, that had happened another month. Changing it all to make, I had to split it out so then it stores the private keys locally and the public keys remotely and publicly. But that's how it would work. Then you get the wallet ID back, and then you link that, and then these things you can get hold of all your keys per avatar. You can get it per provider or all of them, all the ones stored. And unique storage keys, basically, you every time it stores your data to a provider, you have a unique ID. So Mongo would be a different ID. On Ethereum, it'd be a hash. On Holochain, it'd be a hash. Whatever the provider is, it has its own key in a unique way. and then you can just see all the keys linked to that avatar. So it's just useful stuff for developers, basically. Just developer utility functions. For end user, this is probably all just la la la, but if you're a developer, you can start to see the power of this. Basically, I'm just trying to give as much power to the developer as possible, so you can build anything you can imagine on this. That's kind of why, and I'm trying to give you as much visibility on what's going on behind the scenes under the hood. So I'm just trying to open up the engine as much as possible. That's kind of what these things do. So that's what unique storage keys are for. And oh, it's caching as well. So it caches all your keys. Just make it faster. Let's experiment. I'm going to implement caching across the whole OASIS. This is kind of an experiment. The keys and wallets is the first place I started putting caching. So that's the way of clearing the cache. But next week, I think whatever session it is, I think it's like 3 weeks time, 2-3 weeks time. It's the wallet one, and then I can show this properly. So I just got to just quickly finish running through the avatar, and then I'm kind of done really. But you kind of get the idea, like get avatar, and you get all avatars. Oh, I'll show you the avatar detail. That'd be interesting.
Kayla mı? Bu ne oğlum? Ha,
Let me just get.
Kayla.
Oops, sorry.
Yeni suyumuz mu? Yeni suyumuz mu? Adam da zaten de lira yapmış. Allah Allah. Dedim ne yapıyorsunuz dedim ya. Bu kurak bilmiyorsun sürekli zam.
Some
O da şey dedi abi dedi. Kayla diye bir su var.
Yeah, who is
Can you talk?
Zoom?
Can you read something? He's talking.
There is 2 Zooms on the call, so
35 liraya satılan su 25 lira olmuş. Yani satılan bir tane su ismini söyledi.
Evet,
O suyun aynısı dedi. İsmi farklı sadece. 20 lira dedi. Ondan almıştı. Dedi bunları götür onu getir. Ya dedi bir daha yorma beni. Buna da eski fiyat verir.
Wait a second. I'm just figuring out how to use Zoom. Like I said, I haven't got
Aynı
much
fiyattan
experience.
altında. Normalde 30 olmuş. Şimdi 20 liralık bir kayla su varmış. Ondan adam.
So yeah, there. Okay, found them one. Okay, so where are we? So yeah, just going to show you the avatar detail. Get avatar using avatar detail, and we do it by actually I'll just do it by email. So hotmail.com. 1 second, and then go get the login authentication token. Avatar detail. This one. Just want to try and get through the rest of this, and then I'll do questions at the end if that's okay, because I just want to make sure I cover everything, and then I'll take questions. Just oh yeah, wait, because we're talking so long, I've got to log in again. So that's an example. You see, it's logged out because it's timed out. So imagine on a website or an app, you don't want it to stay logged in forever, and we can adjust the timeout, but I think it's about 5 minutes or so. Oh wait, did I change the password? Oops. Did I change it? Oh, I might have. So now I lost my train of thought because I have a little routine to go through, and I can't remember where I got to, because some updates I change things. So I've got to make sure I get the right login. Okay. Okay, yeah, after doesn't exist, it is Hotmail. That's again, it's going through all the providers trying to find where user.
I'm sorry to interrupt, guys, but so Zoom Kulani Sisi, who is this guy? because everybody's asking, but we don't have any response. So we want to know who this guy is. Please step forth and tell us who you are.
Who's that?
Hello. I mean, he's here, but he's on mute. So
Oh, right.
yeah.
it's
Do you know
random.
who that is?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay, so
Right.
that means if we don't have a response, shouldn't be on this meeting.
Bradley, is that your tech guy?
No, I didn't invite him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did invite a tech guy, but
And then
he
there
didn't
is an
come.
iPhone 2, iPhone 2. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, yeah, I guess if people don't respond, then I guess not much point being here. I guess, but it's a bit weird. People join.
Exactly. And I mean, we just don't want, there's a lot of things going on, David. We talked about this.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
Telepathic
Yeah.
message being sent right now.
and Mohan, I remember the last time I did a demo of this a year and a half ago, we got trolled. This guy came on and started posting obscene pictures of things.
I think we should
private
also maybe make everybody sign NDA. So this is my part, right? This is my part and business development and everything. We should really protect what we're doing. So NDA, and it's simple. It's pretty simple and standard, and people could sign it before coming in. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I guess could do. I'm just very. It's another whole discussion that is about that, because I'm very open and trusting. I don't want to exclude people, but I don't know. At the same time, we got it's a middle ground.
You don't want to get attacked. Do you know what I mean? Along the process flow. You know, it's like the mess that could cause. If someone broke in and just destroyed.
Why can't I?
Yeah, it's all open source, but the strategy is not open source. So that's our strategy and how we're going to move about things in the world, especially as a company. We don't want people knowing about that. So yeah, I would suggest these guys leave the room, or we will kick them out.
Yeah.
David, you're the admin. Kindly identify yourselves, or you shall be kicked out.
How did you get here?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no one is replying, so they should. David, are you the admin?
Can you kick them out, David? Because it's kind of uncomfortable.
Yes.
Okay. I just
Oh, someone's actually speaking there. No, someone spoken. Oh.
No, there is no response. There is no written or spoken response.
One second. I'm just trying to multitask on money. My brain's trying to think about the technical stuff. Okay, so who do you want me to kick out? Sorry.
iPhone 2.
There is the Zoom Kulanishisi or something.
Oh, the one who's talking. Okay.
Yeah, and then there's iPhone 2.
I feel guilty, but okay.
No, don't feel guilty. It's just the procedure.
Is this normal practice then? I just boot people who don't talk. Okay. I just feel I don't like being like this. I feel censoring. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe someone's just joined, through spyware or whatever. So.
Okay.
I would honestly not even use Zoom. This is one of the reasons I hate Zoom. Zoom and everything connected to it, especially if we want to build something decentralized, we should all be on encrypted stuff already. And I mean, if the fact that the technology is open source doesn't mean that how we're going to go about things is open source. Especially after seeing the metaverse, like Meta did exactly what you were trying to do, David.
Yeah.
So that's already like, I don't know where they got that thing from, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is some, business.
Well, the thing is what frustrated me
I
is
know there are.
Morales, because I kind of built the OASIS API, released it all, and then a year later, 6 months later, Morales came out with something that seemed very, very similar, a very rip-off. And then someone told me they knew the guy who founded Morales, and that he was on a YouTube. He was a YouTube guy, and suddenly he went dark, disappeared, and he changed, and he got really like negative, and then he released Morales. That's what someone told me, and I was like, interesting, because it seemed like a complete rip-off of the OASIS API, but not
that's
much
the problem,
powerful,
because they would take the technology and make it exactly. They would take the technology and turn it into something we don't want it to become.
No, I think I've been using Morales for building few of the applications myself, and it's really not comparable to OASIS. Like, they're completely two different leads. So there's no rip-offs or anything that I could see. I could see there are problems that OASIS is solving that Morales is not, and also the other way around. So Morales is currently like bringing all the features that relevant to the current trend in the market, majorly NFTs and tokens and all of these things. And OASIS is something that is much more futuristic, and the trend has yet to catch
Right.
up.
Okay, that's good. It's been really hard for me, the journey, and then do you see recently? I laughed with Max about Jack Dorsey's so-called Web 5, and Chris got triggered too. The HoloWeb, and I was just like, that's not Web 5. It's Web 3 rebranded and repackaged as Web 5. It's like a child. It's like schoolboy logic. I read the white paper. It's like Web 3. Web 2 equals Web 5. Like, no, it's Web 3. It's built as a web platform built on blockchain. It's blockchain, and therefore on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is Web 3, and it's a web. Yeah, it's still pretty cool, but it's not Web 4, or it's not even Web 4, let alone Web 5. And that's what we're building here. Is like it's like a next layer up. This is from the future. This is an abstraction layer above Web 1, 2, and 3. It's one that brings, and then Web 5. Like, I haven't even talked about that. Like, you actually see Star, because then Mohan and everyone loves what I'm building, which I'm really grateful for. But this is nothing. This is boring to me compared to what Star and Web 5 can do. It's like another level. It's 12D. This is 5D technology, and Web 5 is 12D technology. It's insane. It's a quantum leap. The energy, I can feel the energy and vibration of it. It's way higher, and that's why I want to go back to it as soon as possible. Like I'm going to now. This is my handover of Web 4 to the world, and then I'm going to back to Web 5, and then I need to show it. I need to show you guys Web 5. I need to do a demo of Star, because Star is the real deal. Star, like it's telling me, is what's going to change everything. This is like the warm up. This is like to get people prepared for Web 5.
But we need to have like a demo, like something that we can use, that we can actually create avatars and show the world, so that we can claim it. Because for me, like as a PR person, it's super important to have a strategy, communication strategy that will, make, like, give us these credits of actually being the founders of this technology. So the same thing doesn't happen with Meta, like Meta. You've seen what happened, right? So they kind of copied the same idea, but differently, and actually a very dark scenario where people are actually disconnected from the real world completely, and put into this virtual reality 100% immersed. And so it's not the original goal of what we're doing, but it's a very, very similar idea. So that's why I'm worried, because I don't want it to, I just want to have something to show investors, to show people, to say, hey, we did this, okay? We're doing this. And so that once you do that, it's done, it's yours. Yeah. But before you do that, you it's like very risky.
It's right. Just very quickly, I just want to show this last little bit, and then we could do questions at the end, if it's okay. I just want to finish this last bit.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry about that, David.
No, it's good. Thank you for being the policeman, security.
We need some police.
Intergalactic police.
I need that, because I'm a very trusting, open person, but sometimes I guess maybe I do need a bit of protection. I'm divinely protected, but I guess it can't hurt. Be careful.
No, it's really important, bro.
So but I just want to show you this is the avatar detail. So I loaded the avatar detail, and here, just talking about it, I put this achievement in. Two of my achievements is when I complete Star, I become Superman. They keep telling me that. I know it sounds crazy, or maybe they call it a tech Superman, if you want, it makes people more comfortable. So the tech Superman, and this is Web 5 Star, and I really want to show you it. I can't wait. It's just another level. Anyway, but this is the back end, because it's built on top of OASIS API. It's like the next level up, and I'm going to do some diagrams. You saw my Taurus and Christmas tree. I'm going to actually draw them properly, so you can get an idea of the whole architecture. And here you got attributes. You saw earlier. This is the actual the real avatar detail. So this is like a RPG game, or different levels, brightness, size, the colors, RGB of it. It's got a lot of detail. It even talks about, it's even got your different chakras and disclosure. It talks about your chakras, what they're for, different crystals, protection levels, energizing level, ground level. This is for the game. So you can see this is the back end of the OASIS. I said about this is the full-on avatar. So this is what no one's seen before, but just to show you how detailed it is. And then you've got some standard stuff, gene key stuff, favorite colors. This, when you log into Star, it says what's your favorite color, and it changes the Star command line interface to your favorite color. But it's got a little AI. The Star's got AI in it as well, so it kind of learns. And it's simple at the minute, just like what your favorite color is and things. And then you get gifts, human design stuff. All these things expanded out. I put these as placeholders so you get an idea where we're going. my inventory, my karma level, my level, and my different skills with different things in here, my different spells. And then, yeah, that's a star color, something about, and then my stats, HP, mana, energy, stamina, my superpowers. Remember, so karma unlocks different powers in the game. So you can fly and teleport, telekinesis, telepathy. And we use Mohan's biofeedback hardware, so you actually have to meditate to use telekinesis. You move things with your mind. It's real Jedi force powers. So you can't just move your hand, because we're gonna have like full body recognition as well. You actually have to meditate and move things, and you make it rain by meditating, and make the campfire, start the campfire to keep yourself warm at night. This is all going to be in one world. This is why we need the millions and billions. That's why I'm doing this demo, because we need some serious funding, because building the back end's taking a lot, but the UI is even more work. And we need a lot more than just me to build the OASIS. And then, yeah, that's the avatar detail object, and then the standard OASIS stuff again. And then you can update them all by each things. I'll show you the karma briefly. That might be interesting. So you can add and move karma. So here, I'm just going to just get my token again. So you imagine when you a nice UI and game tool this, it's really powerful. Right now, this is just the nuts and bolts. So you see the back end. And then here, I'm saying karma types, be a hero. Where is it coming from? It could be game, app, website, anything. Helping people, and a description of is great game. This can be anything. This is just my test data. Oh yeah, and I've got to put the right avatar in. So hopefully it still works. Yeah, so it's added my karma to my avatar. And then I have been called a karma Akashic records, and that's basically your whole like your data, your log of all your karma you've ever earned. It's added 7 karma to my karma there, and then yeah, the type just earned a loss, and I think it's got my total karma. Yeah, and then same with move karma is the same thing. So if you do bad things, like here I'm saying in seeds, game of seeds, running on Android, I'll drop litter or something, say example. And then you lose karma for that. And this is why we're creating a DAO. So basically people can vote every new moon. People can vote on the karma ratings. Right now they're hard coded. So people can rate like how much karma did you lose for dropping litter? How much karma do you gain for picking up litter? And people can vote for new karma categories. There's quite a lot already. I don't know if I can quickly show you karma. I think it would be here. So I'll probably come back to that in a minute. So I just want to going through this, and then get avatar portrait. You saw earlier on, that's a 2D portrait, and basically you can upload a portrait and load a portrait, and basically that the image base it's just a string. It's just an image that you upload. We're getting technical. It gets converted to a string, and that allows you to load and save it. And then this is getting the 3D avatar, and then you can the 3D object, and then you can search your avatars, and then there's terms and conditions stored in it. So that's that, and then yeah, I find the karma, and then that's basically this phase done, I think. So where's the karma? 1 second. Yeah, here it is. Oh, I'll have to show you. So if we just end quickly, you see a snapshot of the code, but this is going to be changed to the DAO later on. But for now, oh, did I share the right screen? Can you see this? Can you see the code? Karma type positive. Did I share the right screen? did share screen. Yeah. So you can see that, right? I hope. List of karma types, hopefully. And that's all the different karmas you have in so far. So you can pick up litter, anything you can imagine. Anything our world is in the game. So that's in the actual game. Defending plays, being present, being mindful. This is how we have the EEG headband and Mohan's biofeedback hardware. So we can like know how you're feeling, happy or mindful, or how present you are. And also what flow state you're in. That's a new thing. So we're going to have to add flow state. That's what he's working on with Soul Compass. And then in real life, this is like doing things in real life. So being a hero, you know, helping a granny across the road. I don't know, saving someone from a fire, burning building. A fireman would get a lot of karma, I guess. And then being healthy, nutrition, improving yourself, and you know, mindfulness app or a meditation app. Helping animals, keeping the peace, helping the community. You can imagine anything. This is examples. This is why it has to be for the community needs to vote on this, because it go on and on. See, that's why it needs to be a Deo, because that's I don't want to play God like that, like because it's been a whole big thing. Like who decides what I thought whether people should vote on how we want it to work. The only thing I'll say on the karma system is there's a law called the law of equality. So that's the only thing. It won't allow you to say make a tree or an animal have more rights than have less rights than a human. So if you hurt an animal, you lose just as much karma as hurting a human. Or if you hurt nature, you lose just as much karma. But that's what's very important. Right now, you guys understand, but the rest of the population still think humans are more important than everything else on the planet, which is why we're in such a mess. And that's the whole point of this game, is that we need to make sure we're all equal. So it will never allow people to vote people more important than animals or nature, because nature and animals need to be the same, exactly the same level we are. So that's the only hard-coded thing that I won't be allowed to change. And then the same thing for like I'll go back to karma. Karma type negative. Just preview of the code. Yeah. And that's just an example of negative things, you know, if you're abusive on social media or something, or disrespect people. Because I'm planning to build I didn't tell you this, is a global healing app where you can heal people and you earn karma for that. And that's kind of uses the power of remote healing. And it's a gamifying remote healing. And then see people can earn karma that way. It's like a global healing network, and people can then say my animal's sick or the person's dying of cancer, and because we've already proved that we can heal people with like Greg Braden's shown people can heal tumors just through intention, and that's a way of bringing it all together. And then that's called Save a Life and a Global Healing Network. And then the next gen social network is a social network we're going to build on the avatar karma system on the OASIS API. And that's where things like if you help people on the social media, you earn karma, but if you're abusive or disrespectful to people, you lose karma. That's just two examples of apps we want to build. And it's been hard, guys, because I've had this in my head since 2013. I wanted to build a social network in 2013, but it's taken this long just to build this. Like that's supposed to be the preview, and then our world comes out after. So it's supposed to be the social network and the healing app, and then it was going to be the our world, and then one world. And then the 4 OASIS, that was my plan. But maybe this is still part of it, because everything kind of takes longer than I think in 3D. And like I said, the world wasn't ready yet for this stuff, but now it's kind of ready. Yeah, that's it. So I'll let you guys talk. Any questions? And I'm done, I think, for today.